Pretty good.
ついに解禁。ブルガサリ伝説の大怪獣。
Shall we give our audience a bit of a backstory of this whole ordeal?
Yeah, because this movie has a bit of a backstory, to put it mildly. So this was made in the 80s, in the mid 80s, when Kim Jong-il, who was not leader at this point, if I remember correctly, was
No.
he was chosen to be the head of what was basically the propaganda ministry of North Korea. And he was a lifelong admirer of film. He apparently had a collection of like 15,000 film. And he decided, well, we could make, fiction film or just regular film in the same way as like every other nation around the time. So he kidnapped the director, Shin San-ok, and his then wife, Choi Yun-hee, who was a famous actress in South Korea. He kidnapped both of them in 1987 in order to get them to make movies.
1978. Sorry.
Oh, sorry, yeah, 1978. Sorry. And so it took them 5 years where they were split apart. She was basically paraded around as like a pride of the nation, whereas he was in prison, mostly because he tried to escape like twice. But after 5 years, the regime decided, they've been indoctrinated enough, and then they finally met again and were tasked with making films for North Korea. And they made a good handful of them before they finally escaped, and this is their final film. She produced it while he directed. This production is also quite interesting because their plan for escape, kind of genius actually, was to basically make such good films, or as good as they could, so that they would have to go abroad and promote the films. And this is actually how they ended up escaping, because after Pulgasari came out, they went to, I think it was Berlin.
Yes.
And showcased the film, and they managed to escape. They managed to hop into a taxi that wasn't occupied by their bodyguard and drive off to the American embassy and get sanctuary.
Yeah. Political asylum.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is not even kind of the weirder things of this movie. The entire production had a lot of people from Toho involved. Toho, of course, being the studio that made the original Godzilla. This movie is kind of like a North Korean version of Godzilla, because Kim Jong-il is a big Godzilla fan, or was a big Godzilla fan. So it has a lot of the same staff that work on the original Godzilla, including in the cast list, Kenpachiro Satsuma, the guy who played Godzilla, the guy who is in the suit, is the suit as Pulgasari, as we will get to.
Just a fun little note on that. There's a baby version of the monster Pulgasari.
Yep.
And the man or person, whatever, playing that is credited as Little Man Machan. I don't know what that means. But...
Me neither, but it's quite interesting. But they were apparently tricked into being part of this production by basically being told that they were going to film in China, which they didn't, as far as I know. But this entire ordeal has actually spawned a 2016 documentary called The Lover and the Despot. So if you're interested in sort of the details of this entire story, there's a documentary, there's a double feature for you after you've watched this.